Hi everyone, welcome to Rando 2.5. It took a long time for us to get here. We've worked very hard on building our own audio classification engine. We have then had, I think, 3 months of user feedback rounds where with all the beta testers, thank you guys for that, by the way, where we've tackled almost 90 plus user items. And Rando's here. Better, lighter, faster. Um, Everything, like a lot of things have been recoded from the ground up. It's a lot more stable. We've worked very hard on making the UX and the UI a little bit more intuitive. So let me just dive right in with you guys. This is, of course, as you know by now from me, an unscripted video. So I'm just going to go through all these features and I hope they all make sense to you. And if you want to know more, please check out the changelog that's in the email and should also be in the user manual. So here we go. So the UI has been much improved. As you can see, we've removed the search icon from underneath Rando. That's now been placed here because a lot of people asked for it. There is now a dedicated super mode button. Previously, you could use shift and drag volume to change all the volumes of all the notes here in one go. But now you can also just simply turn this on and move this for all the other things as well. So quite nice. If you now change here, you can see that everything is 47. Really easy. We've also changed the lock mode here, more about that later, and there's a performance mode. So without further ado, let's show you guys. Now previously, this is our new browser, by the way. Super intuitive now. You can simply say, oh, I want to have claps and I want to have hi-hats. And because of our audio classification engine, it's now also possible to find loops that contain both a closed hi-hat and an open hi-hat, which is really easy. We've made this browser over here a lot better for you. You can exclude certain sample types by just clicking on it again. There is the functionality to just drag these samples right to your hard drive. What you can also see here, for instance, is that some samples do not have a tag underneath. Now, that's because building an audio classification engine with the small team that we have is a huge undertaking. We're going to have a feature soon where we will be able to ask you, like, hey, send us those samples that have not been categorized so we can start training our model on that as well. But previously, the way Rando worked was that we did not show you these samples at all because we just could not get information from the file name or from the file name itself. Now we have that here a lot better. As you can see, if you look at the file name, there's nothing worth mentioning for us to deduct whether this has been a synth key file or not. But now because of the audio classification engine, it actually knows what's in the file. So that's really cool. I like it a lot. Cool thing is also you can just drag these files to your hard drive as well or to your project. And we've also added the functionality to just drag a sound in here and it will show you similar files on the right. And there were also people that asked us, can you now do a custom location? And if you click this button, you can now get a custom location for your samples temporarily and go through those as well. So I think it's a really, really nice addition to our infrastructure. You can see all the files in here. They look really pretty, and you can just drag a file, take a file here and drag it here, no problem. Okay, let's go back to the main interface. As you can see, we've now had a dedicated lock section. So if you click this, you can simply click on keys to lock them and to unlock them. You still have your auto function as before. So that basically means if you turn it on, then every key you will play will be locked. And there's also a handy shortcut we have for there. I believe it's, you can see it already here on my Mac. It's Option. And you can just click the key like this to lock it as well. It's a lot easier. It also works the same now for the sequencer as well. So if you have a note here, you can just simply use the key Option to lock a note. It's also easier to deactivate or activate a note now. And of course, if you click this, you can just click all the notes you want like this as well. Next up is something that I wanted to include here for a very long time, and that is the performance mode. Now, the performance mode you can find over here. Basically, what I found out is that when I make music with Rando, I love being able to put in a complete keyboard full of loops, and I could basically click any loop and all the loops would line up and be in the right pitch. Now, that involved a couple of steps to get that done. So we've consolidated those steps, which will, and if you click this icon, it will temporarily override the settings you have per sample to make things work together. Now, we've also moved the magic function that was below here. We've now moved that to here, which basically is now a clock icon, which basically is the same as magic used to be, but we've chosen to call this a sync play. So it basically means that the start point of the sample is now tied to the transport or tied to other loops. And if you want to have a lot of fun, click this icon and select a couple of loops and make something really great really fast. But now it's just in one simple button, which makes my creative juices flow insane. Okay, let's stop it. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but now it says resume all. Previously, when I got into a flow like this and had very good loops playing, I was like, okay, great, I need to, like tweak some things here or there. And then I had to manually think, okay, which loops were playing or not. Now you simply have the resume all button and everything will just be played away. Best thing also is that it saves with your preset file. So if I go from here to here and I click resume all, I have everything back in one go. So that's really, really nice. But we're not there. There was one big thing that was on our menu for a very long time. And that thing is the keyboard designer. If you go to the bottom of the screen, there's now something called design. Now, this is, I think, one of the best features of Rando, so I saved it almost till last. But this allows you to simply say, these buttons here, please be a kick drum. Or these notes, sorry. These notes here, make them percussion. These notes here, make them a guitar. And these notes here, make them a rim shot, or have this part here be drum loops. And oh, I forgot, these ones should be one shots. Great. I can now click design, and Rando will fill in all these notes with tonal loops. All these button notes here will be kicks. It's insane. You can build a complete beat in your DAW and just click Rando again, and it will basically refill new samples here. And if you want to keep one, just lock one and click Rando again. And this one will be new. This one will be the same as previously. Really nice. And I love it a lot. What's also very nice is you can then take this keyboard layout, save it, and call it, I don't know, what shall we call it? Rando demo preset. And you're done. We also had requests from a lot of people to add a random play function, and that's now there. So if you take this nice sample, you go to the start menu here. This is the sync mode. This is the random mode. And as you can see, there's now sensitivity right here. You can move that up. And now there's a random play function for you. So I guess with a little bit of effects on it, as you can see, we've now also moved the main effects to a much clearer position. You can just add a little bit of delay. Do that by hand, by the way. So sorry for all the spasmic notes, but here you go. So yeah, that's random play, and I bet you're gonna make great things with that. So apart from this, As you can see, we've done a lot of a lot of small tweaks. Everything is much easier to see. There's a lot more. I hope for a lot of people, Rando will click a lot better. This will also open the door for us to get some custom skins in the future. So for those of you who are missing the white um, views, those are going to be there. I don't know also if you've seen it or not, but here there is now a copy, paste, and duplicate function. So if we say, let's generate these nodes here, and if you go to the step here, there's nothing. You can now simply go here and click duplicate, and then the same bar is here. So that opens up a lot more possibilities for people as well. Yeah, I mean, I can talk for a couple of hours, but I wanted to be this to be like a simple update for you in the email so you can see what we've done. There is so much here; it's insane. I didn't know we were going to spend this much time um, on making Rando better, but apparently we could still push it a lot further than I anticipated. So yeah, there's a new menu here. Last but not least, also a big shout out to our new members of the audio packs. As you can see, we now have 7 taster packs in here that you're allowed to download and play with. So I hope that's also triggers your inspiration as well. Our goal is basically to become the #1 inspiration engine out there. Based on the samples that you already have and with your own creativity at the helm. So let me know what you think about it. I wish you a very great weekend and or week, depends on when you see this. And thanks to all the beta testers who've chimed in and helped us debug some very nasty bugs. Also, thanks to the Rando team. And this is Dennis from Amsterdam signing off. Have a great time. Bye.